Welcome to Meeting Mesabi, a podcast for the Iron Range Tourism Bureau, or Discover the Range. And today I'm here with Jim from Leedrick Studios. And we're going to be talking about Minnesota film credit for movie producers coming to the Iron Range. So you've worked on several movies in the area, and obviously you have a film production studio. Can you tell me a little bit about getting Minnesota tax credit for filming?
Well, we're in a unique position up here because for one case scenario that I can recall, we ended up utilizing three different tax credits up here and recouped almost 75%. So on a particular project, because we had a combination of one that was offered by the state of Minnesota because it was in excess of $100,000 for commercial work. Mm-hmm. And then we also had at the time it was just faux, and then no, it was full and the IRRB, so the county and the IRRB. So we were able to take advantage of all three of those. We've taken advantage of utilizing the IRRB and the county tax credits on a lot of occasions, but that other program through the state's no longer available. I know they're working on trying to rectify some of that and having some different things put in place. Right now you can get some tax credits, but that's a whole different beast. So
okay, and yeah, we can talk about that one separately, because I know I just read about it the other day. In 2026, they're going to be adding, I think, 25 million additional tax credits for filming. So can you tell me about the three that you usually work with, like from the IRRR and the other places?
Well, primarily up here on the range. Wow, that sounded really Minnesotan.
Hard words.
On the range, we have it's perfect for filming. Whether you're doing commercial work, whether you're doing movies, whatever the case may be, you have the ability to take advantage of the IRRB tax credit and the St. Louis County tax credit. Now, don't hold me on the percentages because
I'll have them linked or something.
Yeah, there's basically you can get close to 50% between those two. Mm-hmm. By taking advantage of those and qualifying. There's certain minimum qualifiers. I believe 10,000 is the lowest for a production. And a lot of those, from my understanding, how I've always seen it, is more on a first come, first serve. So when the pot's empty, then it's empty. There's only so much money available because it's got to come from somewhere.
Yeah. And how do you, what are some of the qualifications for getting some of these tax credits?
Well, some of the bigger qualifications are local workforce. They're primarily here to inject funding into the community. Mm-hmm. It's not money that's being given away to Hollywood producers and going out to LA or Quebec or Atlanta or some other place like that. Mm-hmm. It's actually they're only providing credits. So if you came up here with we'll just use $1 million film, for example, you might not be able to qualify for even the 50%, but in some cases you might if you're willing to hire more local folk. Mm-hmm. So that's where having the Upper Midwest Film Office working hand in hand with trying to train people and how people up here are doing their best to become even more adept at the film industry and commercial work. We want to be able to have that crew available for industry professionals that want to come in from outside of the area and come up here and film their feature film.
Mm-hmm. And you've done some of this training,
Yeah. We offer a lot of free training, helping out people, and just it's a way to give back. It's a lot of fun. It's awesome to see people's growth and how excited they get as they're learning more, and we'll help people in all different areas because, quite frankly, you might think that you want to do A and find out while you were working on A, B, C, and D, you found out C was like, oh my gosh, this was the gift I never knew I had. This is where I want to spend my time.
Yeah. Introducing a whole new industry to the Iron Range, essentially.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. But so back to those tax credits, not to forget about that question, with that $1 million, the more you use of local resources, all of it's primarily based in getting that credit and that money locally injected. Mm-hmm. Because nobody wants to pay a large sum of money just to have some guy come in here and shoot a film and leave with all the money and bring in all his people, his, hers, whomever, and not really have a heart and soul for it.
Yeah.
Have a heart, care about the community. And this basically, what they're doing is they are looking out for where all those taxes are coming from and all that money, because a lot of all that money is, I mean, it all comes out of taxes. Someone's paying for it somewhere.
And like in people who come up here to film, like you got to eat, you got to sleep places. Some people are going to go out and have fun like while they're here. So money is being spent. So
Oh, yeah.
there's like the incentive to bring people up here is like, hey, like we'll give you tax credits, come up here and it contributes to the community.
Absolutely. In fact, in a lot of cases, more money is being spent than what is being gifted back in those rebates. Because people, I mean, when they're on these projects, when they're coming in from out of town, just like you had mentioned, they've got to eat. They're going to be spending in the community. They're going to find something, everybody's, I mean, Minnesota offers so many little niche industries in regards to like, well, we're so close to the boundary waters. We're so close to so many different things up here with the mountain bike track, the OHV park, just everything. There's something for everyone up here. And a lot of times these people, they're just people too, and they have time off, and it's not like they're working 7 days a week, 24 hours a day when they're working on a film. They want to experience a little bit of the community themselves as well. And they end up spending their own money in addition to everything else that's being spent up here. So the UMFO rebates might add up to only may add up to $500,000, but that $500,000 that was provided to that film may inject $750,000 just from the fallout from people wanting to experience.
Yeah. It's definitely like a little ecosystem. So, and speaking of stuff like in the area, finding sets up here, what's your process for finding like sets, and maybe what's one of the more fun ones that you've found since you've been filming?
Finding sets it's unique. I've always liked exploring and driving around and just learning about areas. So for me, it was a lot of fun being able to take some of the knowledge and when passing and just, I remember going over here and eating at this place or visiting this place, and I saw this. And there's so much unique culture up here. You could find stuff, you could make it look like you're in Finland, just if you're on the right spot on the range. We both know where we're talking. You could make it look like you're in a state-of-the-art event center just by visiting a new facility over in Virginia. You could be, the mine pits bring a whole different dynamic to it. There's so many hills. You could make it look like you're backpacking in thousands of acres of wilderness lost.
You could easily do Alaska. Just go to like Saxonbach or something and just walk through.
Well, and being so close to Lake Superior, it's practically an ocean. It's incredible being able to see all of the things be able to take advantage of all of the landscape, the scenery, everything. We check off like every box for what do you want to film? What do you want to have happen?
Yeah, and there's a ton of history too. So like you can find like all sorts of old architecture, and when I was filming with you, we did the firehouse in Chisholm and just turned it into a school. But yeah, it looked like an old timey like 1960s like school.
Oh yeah, it's wonderful being able to show people those images that we take of. They'll walk in and they'll look around or they'll see it on a screen and they're like, "Where did you film this?" We're like, "Oh, let me show you this." And it was just an empty room. And they're like, "Wait a second, how did you do that?" Well, props is amazing. Those people have a special hidden talent that it's funny. People take for granted all the different positions on a film, but it really does. It makes things run smooth. It makes things bring it to that next level. It's not. I find everybody is a filmmaker in some essence because of the way cell phones are nowadays. Everybody's on a selfie stick or out there filming something or their action cam or their drone or whatnot. But what these people can do with nothing and take just a blank room, and then when you walk in that room, and as long as you're not looking the wrong direction, you could look around and think, well, wow, I wonder how many classes went through this place. Huh. And only to realize, yeah, it was put up 2 days ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Props are, you gotta give them props. Yeah. They do a great job, at least as far as I've seen. But let's go back to like some tax credit stuff. What's some of the processes that you go through when you're signing up for these? Or like if somebody contacts you and wants to make a movie?
Oh, well, a lot of times it's relatively simple. It's just some simple paperwork that you fill out. They have lots of information that I hear you're going to link as well on this podcast for them
Yep.
to be able to look at themselves. Outline it pretty well. Just make sure you follow the criteria they have listed. Fill in the blanks. It's really simple of, well, yes, we're going to be doing this up here, this up here, this up here. And once you fill in all those blanks, you submit the paperwork to the Upper Midwest Film Office. And at that point in time, it takes anywhere from, I'm going to say up to 4 weeks at max. And that's more of just not the official term, I guess. I just look at it as them just rubber stamping it. You checked off the boxes, you meet the criteria. We're going to earmark this money for you. You don't get it. It's no guarantee because things change in film and all of these, even on commercial work. It changes. Sometimes something happens. You need to do something that you didn't account for and you have to bring in somebody outside. Well, that's going to be affected at the end because when it's all said and done, and you cannot begin any filming until after you've received your approval, that initial letter. So don't get ahead of yourself. Don't put the cart before the horse.
Is that a roadblock you've hit before?
No, I have not. I just been very blessed in not actually making that mistake and error myself.
Yeah, that would be bad.
And they make it pretty well known in the paperwork. Don't start anything. But once all your production is done and everything, you got all your receipts, that's when your bookkeeper, your accountant, whomever you have doing the paperwork, fill out the little lengthier paperwork and provide things. I know here when we work on something, we collect a photocopy of everybody's driver's license, just proof of keeping things simple so we can show, they do live here. They do live on the range. They do live within St. Louis County. We just have them all fill out all their information. That way it's no harm, no foul. Makes it life easy. You don't have to worry about the production crew.
Receipts.
Exactly.
All
Just
the receipts.
Keep your receipts. It's pretty straightforward. You fill it out, submit it, they review it, double check that everything works. You may come up with more expenses than what you qualified for. So if, for instance, you submitted, we initially talked with $1.5 million is what you'd get for a rebate. Let's say you submitted and said, hey, you know what? We ended up spending $550,000. Well, unfortunately, you were only earmarked and qualified for up to $500,000. So you've just maxed it out is all what you were qualified for. But then on the reverse, and this has happened to me before too, though, where I did not spend enough. So I got back less money, which, it's neither here nor there. It is what it is. And it worked out. We realized it. We were like, oh, yeah, we didn't do that. Oh, well.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to hit that mark to
be able to get it. So, yeah, does that answer your question?
Yeah, no, that's a really, really solid answer. So how long have you been doing this? Like, how long has Leedrick Studios been like working in the area? And then how has the film ecosystem changed like over the years?
Oh gosh, I think it's going to be I think we're coming up on our 7th year, I think. And it's all moved so fast. It's been so much fun. That's why it's so hard. I think, has it been that long? It doesn't feel like it's been that long.
Yeah, 5 years is honestly and I haven't been doing the film industry, but I feel like it's just flown by. I still feel like we're just coming out of 2020 sometimes. So
I feel you. So hey, 2026 is a week away. So
yeah, don't remind me.
But no, it's changed drastically. We did it all just started over a game of Fortnite, I guess. When we started, I was
Just on a whim, like,
yeah,
we should start filming stuff.
kind of. I briefly retired out of selling another business of mine, and his wife would go to work, kids would go to school, friends would go to work. I'm done with my man chores playing Fortnite. And one of my friends who was a paramedic here in town, we were all on playing Fortnite one night, and another friend who's another paramedic down out of the metro said, he was talking about this little side gig that he was doing. And I said, I think I'm going to buy a drone and do some real estate photography or doing something like that, because I have time on my hands and get my pilot's license and do things like that. And Josh said, I'm going to go do that with you. And I said, oh, you are? Okay. Well, that bugger the next day went out and bought a drone. So I thought, oh, well, here we go. I better go buy a drone. So,
And then that's a whole other bag. You got to get registered and get the license.
we did. And we both went through. We went and got our license. We became commercial. We're commercially licensed in the state of Minnesota. A lot of people forget that you have to have a lot of extra licensing if you're doing filming for other individuals. Every state has their own rules and regulations. Obviously, we have the FAA's Part 107s, but it's the additional stuff. Mm-hmm. Actually, one year the state actually sent us the wrong paperwork, and it was comical. They registered us as an airport. We kept the cert, called them up. It's all stamped and sealed and everything. And I'm like, I actually called the administrator out at the airport here in town and asked if he wanted a job, because we just were registered as an airport. We might start our own competing airport with them.
We don't have a landing strip we're working on.
No, there's no landing strip. Helicopters only. Whatever will fit in the parking lot. But yeah, so we went from there to being able to, just our clients started all of a sudden, hey, could you do this? Could you do that? We love all your video work that you're doing from the air, but could you do an interview? Could you do something like this or that? And we're like, oh, I guess we better buy a camera. And we each bought 2 different brands because we didn't know which was best. And that's when we learned a lot more about color grading, because there'd be some cases we'd be color grading for a Panasonic, a Nikon, Osmo Actions, a 360 cam, and a DJI drone to make them all match. And we're like, oh my gosh, this is way harder than we thought. But it all just snowballed. And next thing you know, we're in my house and we're like, we need more space.
You have a studio full of toys now. And
it became a loft that all you could do is walk in and sit at a computer, because we had just stuff stacked everywhere. And then we moved into another location for a couple of years. And now we're here I think we're on year 3 here at this studio, I believe. So I don't ever think about the time. I like to think I'm going to stay forever young, and the more I focus on time, I'm worried about growing old.
Oh yeah, I never think about it. Yeah. I don't think about it at all. But no, so what's one of your, like you're talking about, like getting all these pieces of equipment and working on new projects? What would you say is your favorite new toy or like project that you worked on?
We just worked on a ad that'll be down in Vegas on a big convention. And we were partnered with a Fortune 500 company on that, and they partnered us up with some Pixar animators. So
okay,
we did some work on that, and we did all the work with the exception of the animation. So it was a lot of fun.
You don't do that yet.
We do, but not to that level. We're not like Pixar.
Yeah. Yeah, they're kind of like the masters of like digital animation at this point.
I was just happy when we submitted some stuff for them to put some animation into. They were like, this is great. And I'm like, thank you. It makes me feel so good.
Like, I want to see this. What kind of animations do they put together for you?
They're inserting a Pixar animated character into some footage. I can't tell you too much more. I hate the broad strokes, but into some footage for a new company that's launching in 2026.
Cool.
So, yeah, getting to work with so many diverse, different people has been a lot of fun. Working with different, I mean, local, national, all the above. No, I'm just mainly talking on the commercial side of things right now.
Yeah, but it's still like under the same category.
It is. To be honest, it's a lot easier to work on some movies, I found out.
Really?
Well, many hands make light work.
Fair.
So you will hop on a crew and you could have 30 to 100 people there working, and everybody's got what they're focused on, where we'll have a commercial that we're working on. There's like makeup artist and like 5 of us.
Yeah. More pressure.
Yeah. So just a lot more moving. It's the same type of moving parts. It's almost like Genie. Phenomenal cosmic power and just a little bitty space. No, it's a lot of fun though. We love working locally though. It's a lot of fun to see people grow and expand. We've had some great successes with some of our commercial clients that have been a lot of fun. There was a credit union for 3 years in a row. We were a part of winning them some national awards for their marketing and commercial work. So granted, they get to keep the trophy. We just got a picture. And just being able to work on everything from burger shops to real estates to legal. I mean, so many different things. And traveling, some of our other national clients take us, we've been to Florida, to Dallas, to the cities, to Denver, all over. I was in Rochester not too long ago working for some people out of DC. So it's a lot of fun being able to move and shake. But I think we fail a lot on locally letting people know that we work locally.
Yeah.
And some people, I think, are worried, well, it's going to be too expensive. One of the things that we've always prided ourselves on here is trying to make it affordable for everybody. There's no cookie cutter for anyone. Every business is different. Everybody's different. One of the big things that we pride ourselves on is making sure, hey, you've only got X amount of dollars. Fine. Let's just get this taken care of. We did a commercial years ago for a inventor who had needed some work done for some TV ads, and we said, we'll build the set, we'll do everything for $1,000. And so we built a big set, hired actors, did the whole thing, and we got done, and they were just blown away. They were like, they literally wrote another check because they were like, there's no way this was in the budget. And we're like, it wasn't about that. We wanted to help you out. We wanted to be a part of it. Yeah. So, and we've had that even from a local girls swim team who we did a hype video for a football team, and they have a homecoming thing every year, and they show all the video, and they all have a video from every sport.
They got a professionally done hype.
And they were like, the football team's going to play their video. And I have a big heart for swimming because I was a swimmer. My daughter is in swimming. And the captain of that team was in my Sunday school class. So they said, if we pass the hat around, would you do a little video? I'm like, you don't need to pass nothing around. We went out and shot for a couple days for them and put together a little video for them to show off at their homecoming.
Yeah, no, that's a big flex. We have a professionally produced video.
Because I know the football team was going to say it. And we were like, because we did that one too. But they were a small club and didn't really have anything. We were like, it shouldn't matter. So we just want everybody to succeed in what they're doing. There's enough failure going around all the time, and everybody's always a Debbie Downer on themselves. Let's just try to be successful together and help each other get to that win. So
absolutely, yeah. And it's so easy and to just help lift people up by just showing them off, with videos and stuff like that.
I love it.
People appreciate it.
It's so much fun. We have a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah. What do you think has been your favorite project over the years?
Heartwarming wise, company had us go down, a national organization, to, I'll just say it, Owens Corning had us go down to, this was in Dallas. They wanted to put together an educational program for community colleges to allow for people to get a degree in roofing. So they put together a couple of beta classes, and Owens Corning is the 800-pound gorilla in that industry. They make up over like half of the market in roofs. Owens Corning, if you have shingles on your roof, high chance it's theirs. Ever seen the pink insulation? And that's them.
Okay.
So they own all of that.
Yeah, because that name sounds familiar.
They've been on the Fortune 500 list since its conception. So
they're comfy where they're sitting.
Yes, but what they really want, they're really big, again, just like what I was just talking about, giving back. They want to help out, and they had us go down and document. I think it was a 2-week course of this class, and we documented it and put together a 2-minute educational overview of what it was, introducing with speakers, because there was a national convention that they wanted to present it at community colleges, and show how wonderful it was. And what was really neat was part of the project itself. They have their platinum clients at Owens. The ones, I mean, these are people whipping out, they'll do a dozen houses in a day. I mean, these are big outfits. And for the last day of class that all these students went through, and some of these students drove a half hour to an hour every day just to come to this. It was heart touching because there were a lot of tears shed. They made a promise with their platinum people that they would show up at the end of every one of these classes that they did, even if the project moves forward. I don't know where it is today, but they all interviewed, and a good chunk of them received positions because they got the basic skills necessary without the probably maybe a mistake that you learned from somebody else or a way that you shouldn't do it. They all received an Owens Corning certification. So that, and kind of a stamp of approval. So then when they go to these people, they can provide that. And it was awesome. I mean, I think actually over 75% or maybe 75 to 90% were hired by somebody when it was done, which was, I mean, there were some serious tears shed. It was the big graduation. They did it there. And then I believe they had a class in Tucson and maybe in Atlanta. Yeah.
And it was using the same video? Yeah.
Well, we went and videoed only one of them.
Oh, gotcha.
So, but they needed to test it out and start the ball rolling. I mean,
so you were there for like the first one.
We were there recording it, and it was a lot of fun to be a part of that. Interviewing the students. We still keep in touch. We're Facebook friends with a lot of them. It's really neat to see the journey that they've been able to go on. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, especially when it's like you know, like it made a difference with somebody. So
it's amazing.
You were just there, but like you were a part of the process and you got to experience it.
We were there every day, every step of the way, every nail that they're pounding in. We're there with a camera or a gimbal or a drone. It was fun.
Oh, yeah. And let's see, what other projects are you working on? Any like big ones that are coming up that you might want to like make a shout out for?
Well, we wrapped up this last year with Small Town Girl. That'll be coming out here sometime, I believe, in 2026, early 2026, I believe. But which was an amazing project. You were a part of that as well.
Yep, I have an official IMDb page now.
Yes. Yeah, we actually had a lot of crew on that. That was a lot of fun. Still hang out with a lot of them. Let me take an eye gander at some here. But yeah, that was a real blessing. And then we have some other films coming. One that we're hoping to begin. It sounds like they want to start in April or May.
I'm assuming you can't say too much about it.
I can't. The budget's upwards of a couple million. They've submitted their full paperwork. I can say that.
Yeah. You've done the paperwork, everything that we've been talking about before then.
Yep. And I guess I don't want to also, speaking of like the paperwork and stuff, I know Duluth also has a small pool to pull from as well for some rebates. I don't want to leave them out.
Yeah.
And the reason I didn't talk a lot about them is because Duluth is not part of like the IRRB. So they aren't able to participate in that portion of it. So, but there's nothing wrong with Duluth either.
No.
I just didn't want them to think I was excluding them.
Oh yeah, no, not at all. They have like their own thing going on, but we have our own resources to pull from.
And there's some cases where you might want to be filming in Itasca County where you would qualify for the IRRB stuff, but you wouldn't qualify for the St. Louis County rebates.
Yeah.
So it's just that's again where you find that this receipt might not work here, but it'll work over here.
Yeah, and it's all pulled from like the same spot, like for the greater Minnesota area, like funds from that, or is it?
Well, IRRB, from my understanding, is all mining taxes.
Okay.
So from my understanding, I'm not an expert, so if I'm wrong, I'm so sorry. And then St. Louis County is St. Louis County taxes, hence why it wouldn't be going over to Itasca County. But they have a different map, obviously, one that we're all very familiar with. We live in St. Louis County, than what IRRB's map looks like for where they're collecting for their tax zone. So, and that's where all of St. Louis County, with the little exception of Duluth, falls within the IRRB. But then it also does extend into some other areas of Minnesota.
Yeah, there's a lot to like pull from them there, but I'll definitely have the links up at least for like the resources that people filming on the Iron Range can gather.
Oh, absolutely.
And then as for like all people who want to be involved in film who live on the Iron Range, you might want to like see what's going on, learn something. Where would you direct them to?
Well, I know the Upper Midwest Film Office is always offering classes. There's always something going on, and feel free to always reach out here. We'll help too, and train and help and introduce, make connections. It's all about connecting people with the right people.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Right.
We don't want anybody to feel like they're left floundering and not knowing where to go. So
yeah, especially with like, because it's very unique. There's not like a lot of film industry up here, so people who are hungry to like just figure this stuff out, like get behind a camera or learn how to do gaffing or anything like that, like it's definitely an opportunity.
Yeah. No, right now you're not going to make a living off of films as they're up here, but
like historically that's the case. Well,
hopefully that'll change though, because as we train crew up here and continue to provide valuable resources, these other film producers take note of that and they'll start hiring locally because it's rebatable. And it's eventually there could be 5 films a year going on, or even more. Just depends upon, and that leads to a whole nother area of concern to where, well, is there gatekeeping going on because there's only so much money in the pot? Maybe the pot doesn't have enough money in it. Things of that nature as it's growing, because it did stall out a little while there with some strikes and COVID and everything else. It was kind of like a whole mess for the industry for a while.
Yeah, 2020s have been messy. I think everyone can agree.
But I'm very hopeful that it'll get to that point sooner than later, to where there could be 5, or we'll just say 4 to 6 different films scheduled in an annual basis, where at that point in time, it does become a full-time job. Because on some of these films, you're getting paid quite well. You're not, it's a nice little lump sum that you get. So,
and personally, I know it is hard work.
It is.
Like it is a job. So,
but it is fun. I have a lot of fun memories of just together as a team doing things and hanging out. And it's growing together as a family.
Yeah. No, it's a film crew. Like you're working on set for like, what did we work? It was like a month.
Yeah, it was scheduled for 19, and I think I ended up with like 21 or 22 different shoot days.
Yeah, it's a tight-knit group.
So, yeah.
Well, is there anything else you wanted to add in or like talk about?
Well, I mean, if you have a business and you're looking for some commercial marketing or video work, feel free to reach out to Leedrick Studios.
I have a link in the description. All right.
And we're not too expensive for you. We will make it work no matter what, because your success is our success.
All right. Well, thanks for meeting with me today. And again, this is your studio, nice setup. So I'm going to try and aspire to that in the studio we have. So thanks for joining us today and stop in for the next episode of Meeting Mesabi.